Guys, welcome to another episode of the Kaotikast. We haven't really done one of these in a while, but that's mostly because I've been backed up with videos I've had to work on and edit and re-upload and all that other stuff, as well as real life stuff getting in the way, so I haven't really had a chance to do it. And as you might notice, we actually have a different format for the podcast now. We're trying to do, I guess, video podcasting instead of what we usually do, which is just, of course, us talking into, just audio stuff. So that might change up how I do the general layout too, because of this. So maybe might make some things easier because now I don't have to put stuff on the screen every couple of minutes or so. So it might make the editing a little bit easier, so we can just talk about stuff, and maybe every now and again I'll do something. I'm not sure. I'll figure out how I edit these later, but anyways,
you'll figure it out.
Right. So I guess we should start off by talking about what's currently happening in Texas.
Yeah, what's happening in my fucking state?
The Great Freeze.
I call it the Texas Freeze. It sucks. We're at a point where it's like, oh yeah, there's no power outages in my area. Nope. Until yesterday, we were supposed to do a podcast. Power goes out.
Yeah.
Same day. Same day I was supposed to do research on what we're supposed to talk about today, but I had to do it on my phone and a notepad.
And speaking of what we're talking about today, it's actually something I haven't seen and Levy has seen, so I guess I'm just going to be listening in and giving my opinion on it because it's the recent Nintendo Direct. I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but yeah, I've only heard about some of the things that were announced, but haven't actually watched it myself.
It's been a year and a half since they announced or did anything like this before, and people, I have to say, people are crybabies. I'm going to say that much.
Yeah. It seems like, I guess it's because there were these anticipated games that people were hoping they would see, like Metroid Prime 4, what was the other one? Like Bayonetta 2, or not Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, F-Zero, Dante and Smash. They wanted all this list of things that will probably never happen, or they'll happen later.
Yeah. I mean, from what I understand, what was shown off was still good. I wasn't expecting, obviously us to get Metroid Prime 4 yet, or Bayonetta 3. Yeah, I mean, we know what's happening. We know what's being worked on. I mean, to be fair, it has been a while since those games were announced. I kind of would like something, but I understand why it maybe there hasn't been anything else on it yet. I mean, we still have other games coming out for the Switch to, basically tide us over in the meantime while we're waiting for those games. So, I mean, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But of course, people that let's just say went into the podcast, or not the podcast, but the Direct, kind of wanting to not like it, pretty much went out with saying oh, well, they didn't show this game, they didn't show that game. Basically, I see it as an excuse to just try to, shit on Nintendo or whatever, because they already went in with preconceived notions or expectation. Yeah. When people were what was it? When it first was announced, they had all these expectations. They're going to say who was going to be in Smash, what they were going to announce. They're going to announce the sequel to Hollow Knight. All these lists upon lists of expectations, and some of them got what they wanted, but not everyone else. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't see. I mean, while on one hand I understand why people might have some complaints, I don't really see it as that big of a deal. I mean, we're still getting plenty of other games that are actually exclusive to the console, so it's, I mean, if it's let's say let's put it like this, if it's next year and we still don't have any information on this stuff, I can understand why people are okay, where the fuck are these games? If it's for example, maybe if it's Bayonetta 3, for example, because it's been a while since Bayonetta 2, so I mean, I can understand people being kind of upset about that, because I don't think we've gotten really much of anything about that game.
Speaking of Bayonetta, apparently there's an actual article that says it's been 1,170 days since Bayonetta 3 was announced. It's just like, and
yeah, I don't know. Some people are just impatient. I mean, like I said, I understand. You know, it's been a while since since we've had the last game in the series. Especially like, I mean, and I even am excited for Metroid Prime 4. I love the Metroid Prime games. So, I mean, I can understand why some people might be upset we haven't gotten any new information about Metroid Prime 4. So I definitely like to see that.
But at the same time, it's just like whatever. Whatever happens. It's just leave Nintendo alone. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Anyways, so I guess the first thing we should talk about is just what we've been up to since the last podcast, I think it was. The recurring segments.
Work and freezing my ass off in Texas. That's what I've been up to.
Yeah, one of them is about the Texas freeze.
Yeah, that's what I called it, because that's essentially what it was. Ice on the road, snow, power outages, water pressure going to shit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. With me, it's just been mostly just working on videos, working on a commission, and college, so that's always fun.
And also trying to figure out what to do a podcast on. I had one idea, but then the direct happened. I was like, let's just do it on this instead.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. Okay, so I guess, I guess we should just get right into it. One of the first things we have is Sega removing voice actors from the Sonic franchise, and it's not surprising.
Yeah, the guy who played Sonic for the longest time announced he was no longer playing Sonic.
Which voice actor was it?
Roger Craig Smith, I think it was, the guy who plays Ezio.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that guy.
What else was he in? I know he played Ezio. He played Batman in Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
But he was mostly known as Sonic, and apparently he stepped down of the role, and Amy, apparently the voice actors for Amy stepped down too, and everyone was like, what the fuck's happening?
That is pretty weird. I mean, so is there a reason why they left, or why they're
let's do a little bit.
Are they just like tired of playing the character?
No, they just said that it came to an end, saying it's been an honor, and just left. No real reason why he left, and apparently they're speculating the person that played Sonic in the movie is going to be the new Sonic.
Who was that?
Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz, of all people.
I mean, he could do it. I've seen clips of the Sonic movie, and I've heard his performance. It's I mean, it sounds similar enough, so.
Or it's its own spin of it, which it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But Eggman's not going anywhere. Mike Pollock actually came out and was like, I'm not leaving. Fuck you, I'm not leaving this role. I love this role.
I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, he's done a good job as Eggman. So, yeah, I mean, that's surprising, but I don't know. I mean, I guess sometimes you just get tired of playing a role for a while. You maybe want to move on and just do other things.
Yeah, because if you do the same role over and over and over, you're bound to lose your mind.
Yeah, I can see that.
Look at the fucking Simpsons. Apparently they had a same role for like 33 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, the show's been going for like, how many years now?
Like 33 years.
Jesus.
I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the new, like, the old Simpsons is like fucking great, but then you look at the new stuff, it's like, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
There was one thing I put on here that I took off and replaced it because I don't think anyone cares, but at the same time, it's like a fun thing to talk about.
What was it?
I had like Darkside Phil's like best and worst of list of last year.
Oh, that, okay. Yeah. I think you mentioned. I think you told me about that. Like some of the stuff he had on there.
Yeah, and it's terrible. It's fucking.
I mean, isn't it always terrible? I mean, this is Phil we're talking about.
I'm gonna say this for the record. He had like honorable mentions for this shit.
Yeah. So just what was his like? I guess top best or top. Okay, so least favorite game or like worst game in general, and like which one was the best game? Like or. Yeah, like, did he do, like, a ranking or something like that? Or did he just, like...
He did. He said that this is my top 10. This is why I think it's the worst. He said Yakuza 7 was his best game.
That's surprising, really? Yakuza 7?
And he said that Cyberpunk 2077 was his worst. But then again, I'll give him this. He played the console version.
That's why... I mean, I understand people's hatred for Cyberpunk, I do, but it's just like a lot of these people are playing the console version, and while the PC version has problems, it's not nearly as bad as the console version is. From what I've seen, the console version, it's fucking horrible. So I mean, it's unplayable. Like I mean, but I mean, yeah, a lot of these people are console players, and I already knew before this game came out. I'm like, this is a game that you just want to play on PC. It's just not going to run that well on the console. Maybe the next gen console, but the next gen consoles, but definitely not current gen.
I mean, put it on the Switch. Let's do that. Put it on the Switch, and then you can say it's the worst one.
I don't know. I mean, could you even port that thing to Switch? I mean, it already doesn't work on like the PS4 and the Xbox One.
I mean, if they could put Crash 4 on the Switch.
I mean, I know they put Witcher 3 on the Switch, but I mean, Cyberpunk, I guess, is just a game that's already broken on consoles in general. So, I mean, it needs to work on the other consoles first, I guess, before it can even be ported over to the Switch.
Pretty much. Oh, but let's keep this in mind. How many games did he put on here? I think he put like two fucking games on his best and worst list. Same games, same different lists.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, so I will say I am surprised at Yakuza 7 being like his best game, but I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, we know he does like the Yakuza series, but yeah, I didn't expect it to be like his best game, so calling me surprised. I thought he would just kind of go with like the mainstream opinions or something, you know, but I mean, I kind of did, because with me it was Ghost of Tsushima, but I actually played the game, so you know.
And me with Hades, but it's like he put Final Fantasy VII Remake and Last of Us Part 2 on the same list.
Oh wait, where did he? So what did he put Last of Us Part 2 on the worst stuff? Or?
Yeah, he put that on his worst.
That's something at least we can agree on.
No, he put Last of Us Part 2 for his best at the very bottom, but the second to worst game of that last year.
I'm not surprised.
He also put wait, oh right, I forgot. 3 games. He put the Demon's Souls remake on here twice.
He put it on there twice?
Yeah, he put it on his 5th best game and his 9th worst. But he put a game that was made in the 90s as his worst.
Wait, isn't this supposed to be games that came out this year? Or, like, what is it? How does he mess that up? Like, or...
Last year he did Donkey Kong Country 60, or Donkey Kong 64.
Or is this just games like he's played this year? Because that has to be it, because it's not games that came out this year. It's just got to be like games he just played this year, I guess.
But it makes zero sense to put Donkey Kong 64. That game came out in the 90s. But he hates it. He said it flat out. He hated the game.
I guess so was it on his best game or worst game then?
Worst.
Oh, well, I mean, if he hates it, then, you know, there you go.
He put Doom Eternal as one of his worst games.
Oh, probably because he sucks at it. That's probably why.
He also said that 2016 was better.
The games that came out in 2016 was better, or... Oh, the original Doom. Okay, yeah. Well, probably because it's not as hard. I mean, Doom Eternal in general is a harder game, so that's probably why.
He played it on normal, so...
I mean, he's not good, so, I mean, normal difficulty would still give him a run for his money.
Also, I have to ask, you played Little Hope, right?
Oh, the Dark Picture? No, I just played Man of Medan. I didn't play Little Hope. I heard it wasn't good, though, so, I mean, I guess I'm not really missing much.
He put it in his 4th best game. He said he loved it.
Well, it's probably because he didn't have to put much effort into the game. I mean, it's just it's the same as like Heavy Rain or like a David Cage game. There's not really much gameplay, and all you have to do is just like do quick time events, basically. So that's probably why.
Yep. So I'm gonna just delete these lists. I don't need these anymore. They've been on my desktop for so fucking long. I don't want it on here anymore. Ugh.
Okay, so I guess we can, yeah. You want to talk about the Ori and the Blind Forest director or something? Or?
Yeah, apparently he criticized the industry for the overhype culture. And he said that it was basically ruining the industry.
I mean, that kind of exists within, like, most of the entertainment industry, I would say. Like, hype culture. It's not just exclusive to video games. But I mean, he's right. Yeah, it's hype culture is kind of a. Oh, what do you say?
Ori director calls No Man's Sky cyberpunk makers snake oil salesman.
Okay. I wouldn't. I mean, at least the No Man's Sky developers fixed the game eventually, and they like made it into a game that's actually good, from what I heard. So, but I mean, yeah, initially I would agree because they were making all these promises, and then the game came out and it was a piece of shit. So, I mean, yeah, initially sure.
Like, I'll give them that. Apparently, it's like I can understand for like Cyberpunk because they were like praising it and like promising all this shit of what this game will have and what this game will do. Same with No Man's Sky, and when it first came out, they didn't really hold up to their word until much later with No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean, I understand getting on a CD Projekt for that because Cyberpunk is a game that's been hyped up for so long, and then it just didn't deliver when it came out, and it was probably one of the, worst game launches ever.
And then he fucking apologized for it, saying that he was overly aggressive when it came to this criticism, and he said he screwed up and promised to learn from his mistake. This is where I say, fuck that. Own up to it. Stick to it. It's like, what he said was true. It's overhype. As Max...
It just kind of annoys me when these people in the industry come out with an opinion that kind of differs from the norm, and then when the mob, essentially, or just people, I guess, whoever comes after them, they just change their opinions. It's just kind of spineless, honestly. It's like, why don't you just stick to your opinion? You had an opinion, and then you probably changed it either because somebody, I don't know, maybe you got somebody who was, like, influencing you to change your opinion for whatever reason. And you just, I mean, it's just like, stick by your opinions. I just don't understand why they have to go back on what they say. I mean, they just feel a little bit of pressure, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
It truly baffles the mind where it's like, did somebody tell him, like, they pulled to the side, like, what are you thinking? What if we're going to make a third Ori game? You just fucking killed it. He's like, oh, I better apologize.
Yeah, I mean, that could have something to do with it. Maybe he realized it would hurt his sales if he made another Ori game, that if he said something like that, but I don't know. That's the only thing I can figure, is that is the only reason he went back on that opinion.
Yep. Well, and also, speaking of Cyberpunk, apparently CD Projekt Red, like, I don't know, I think it was like last few weeks ago, they suffered a cyber attack.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think whoever did that was fucking pathetic.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why somebody would go out of their way to do that, honestly. I mean, it's just like, I guess there's like their way of getting back at them or whatever, maybe, but it's still fucking stupid. Like, I mean, what are you really proving by doing that? I mean, what are you accomplishing? I didn't get my refund, so I'm gonna fuck with CD Projekt.
And it's like, it's fucked up when they do shit like that. It's like, it's...
And then, of course, the people that already have certain opinions about CD Projekt and already hate them are just kind of laughing about it, you know, because, you know, oh, look, you know, you got hacked. And it's just like, okay, I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't know if this is in the document too, but that reminds me of the people that were also celebrating when Gina Carano got canceled.
No, it's not, but that's actually quite a perfect thing to segue on.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably talk about this too, because this is something pretty topical and something that happened recently. And people were making up all kinds of bullshit about why she got canceled. She got canceled because she posted something that references the Holocaust, and it didn't really say any one specific political group of people. It just said, like, if you had a different opinion, or, you know, what was it? People in during World War II, like Germans in World War II, would like go after their neighbors or something if they didn't agree with, like, the Nazi Party or something like that. And she kind of drew a parallel to today, where, like, people of different political persuasions will go after each other because they don't have the same opinions or whatever. And I mean, she's not wrong. That's something that is happening. But of course, people with room temperature IQ can't handle hot. You know, I would say it is kind of a hot take. I mean, she does do, you know, kind of post some hot takes on her Twitter. I mean, I will admit that she does do that. But I mean, it's like, does she deserve to be canceled over it? Does she, you know, no? And I mean, it's just because she's expressing opinions that aren't the opinions that are approved of, essentially.
And then meanwhile, you have Pedro Pascal, like, makes fucking pictures like, this is Germany, 1944, and it has, like, Jews in concentration camps, and it's like, this is America, 2018, yeah. And you have, like, Mexicans in concentration camps.
And apparently that wasn't even in America. I forget where that was, but it was somewhere else. That wasn't even America that picture was from. I think so, yeah.
I got this shit. Oh yeah, but let's make this fucking let's make this guy Joel in fucking the Last of Us HBO series.
Yeah, I mean, do you even think he's a good cast for?
No,
he doesn't really resemble Joel that much, and he doesn't, like. I mean, Joel is a southern dude too. I mean, is he gonna try to put on, like, a southern accent or something? Like, I mean, he's obvious. Like, I mean, Pedro Pascal's a Hispanic dude, so I mean, he's like, it's just weird. It's just weird casting. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, someone.
And
said
then they got some girl, I think, from was she from Game of Thrones or something?
From Game of Thrones. The person that played Lyanna Mormont as Ellie. I'm just looking at this going, you could have done better.
She doesn't really look like Ellie. I'm like, you know, she's...
Elliot Page looks like fucking Ellie, but then again, go figure, they look the same.
Yeah. I just don't, like, I'm already looking at the casting for this, and I'm just like, this show is already just going to be a dumpster fire. Like, and I'm wondering, like, are they just going to adapt the first game, or are they going to try to, like, do, like, the DLC, or, like, what are they going to do? Like, I'm guessing they're just doing the first game. I don't know, but I mean, the first game was actually good, but I mean, I just can't get over how bad this casting is. I mean, maybe it'll actually be a good show, but it just sounds like it's I already just don't have high hopes for it based on what the casting is. I mean, I don't know. I just have no interest in that show, especially since The Last of Us Part 2. I really have no interest in anything related to that series.
Well, at least the good news, they actually got the composer to come back for the
that's good
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Update on that picture. It was Palestinian children awaiting a meal during Ramadan in some sort of play area, but it was cropped to make it look like a jail cell. So, congrats, you're racist against the Middle East now.
Yeah, that's where that was from. But yeah, so anyways, back to the Gina Carano thing. Like, yeah, basically she got canceled because of that, and So they fired her, but they didn't inform her that she was fired. Like, she found out that she was fired through social media. Like, she actually was not contacted and told that you're fired. Like, she had to find out through social media that she was fired.
And that her show featuring the character from Mandalorian was removed, and everything that she was a part of canceled.
Yeah, and now her figures are also being taken out of production. The figures that sell, the figures that are actually, like, do you remember when the sequel trilogy was out and they had all the fucking Rose Tico figures and all these characters from the sequel trilogy of the figures they had, and they were not selling for shit, and now they have like fucking Mandalorian shit and it actually sells. And this has hurt your brand. Like, this has hurt your fucking figure sales. The cartoon figure was actually selling, and it's hurt, like, and now you're taking it out of production. So it's just, like, do you see how much the figure is selling for now that has been taken out of production? Like, it's being sold for like hundreds of dollars on eBay and Amazon because the figure is no longer in circulation. It's no longer in production. So it's just like, okay, so you've hurt your merchandise sales, and you've hurt, you know, any goodwill that you've had with the fans for this franchise because you didn't like, you know, Gina Carano's political opinions or whatever. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, it's just so crazy, just the way they've managed this franchise, and how they've, like, I mean, they won a lot of people back with the Luke Skywalker cameo, and now they're shooting themselves in the foot again. And at this point, I really don't give a fuck about anything having to do with Star Wars. Like, that's where I'm at right now with this fucking franchise. Like, I cared, again, because you gave me Luke, and you gave me some hope that maybe we're going to go in a good direction with this franchise now. But now you're doing this shit again, and you're firing people over opinions you don't like. And, meanwhile, you have people that, you hire people that express opinions that are far worse than whatever Gina Carano said or retweeted or whatever.
Yep.
So it's just pure fucking hypocrisy, and it's obvious that there's only one opinion that's approved at Lucasfilm, and one that they, if you expressed anything else, so they're just going to go after you.
Ooh, I'm just looking up all the fucking figures. 290, 165,
yeah, for the Cara Dune figure, yeah.
220. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, because they're not making anymore, and this is for all versions of the figure, not just like the Black Series. It's like every version of that character.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot. It's just,
yeah, it's crazy, but at least now Gina Carano is like, she's moved on from that. She's doing some movie with Ben Shapiro's production company, I think it was. So I don't know what that's going to be about, but I mean, at least she's already got another project she's working on, so I mean, good for her. At least she's already moved on from it.
Yeah.
I mean, it really sucks because, like, and also another funny thing, like, if you go into the Internet Movie Database and look at like the most popular celebrities, Gina Carano is actually the #1 most popular celebrity right now. I'm not kidding. Like, that's like, I just kind of have to laugh at that. I'm like, you guys have like made her more popular and more powerful now that you've canceled her. Like, ironically. So.
Yep, you essentially just made her a fucking icon.
And then ironically enough, Kathleen Kennedy comes out and has some video, like, because I guess the Oscars are coming up. There was some video on the Oscars channel where she's talking about how great, the great women in film, and like preaching about feminism and all that. And it has like a lot of downvotes because people are like, you're a total hypocrite because you just put this video out right after firing Gina Carano. So it just makes it look like, yeah.
Just ousting a strong woman in cinema. Oh yeah, let's fire this one. But yet I'm going to talk about how every woman in cinema are strong and so stunning and brave. Standing ovation.
Yeah, it's like the ratio on that video. I think it was like thousands of dislikes. It had maybe 90 to 100 likes, but of course they disabled the likes and ratings after, or the ratings and comments after they saw how much the video was getting downvoted.
Fuck, I was actually gonna look up that video too.
Yeah, it's too late. I mean, some people have videos where they show it, but now, of course, you can't see it anymore because they disabled those features.
Removed it. Well, yeah, they did that because everyone I think they got tired of seeing the truth that Kathleen Kennedy is a
I think at this point, like, everybody wants to see her fired. Like, nobody likes her. I don't know why she still has a job.
Hashtag bring back Lucas.
I don't know. Bring me back. I'll bring back Jar Jar.
We'll bring back Jar. I'll give him the right treatment. I'll bring him back for Mandalorian season 3.
I'll bring him back as a Sith Lord.
I'll bring him back in the
Jar Jar.
I'll bring him back in the Tony Stark suit. Jon Favreau is like, brilliant, let's do it.
Yeah, but that's the thing that happened, and it makes me lose that much more faith in humanity. And yeah, anyways, but I think we can probably move on to.
It's like, I do have to ask.
Yeah.
How do you feel about butts?
Oh.
How do you feel about butts? Do they make you feel good? Like when you see a nice woman butt and you just see it and it's like nice in yoga pants and it's like, goddamn.
I am an ass man, so you know how I feel about them.
Well, you're not going to get Mass Effect Legendary Edition because they're going to try to remove butt shots now.
Yep.
Because SJW's complained.
Yeah, because like 2 seconds of Miranda's ass is problematic. This is the screenshot they showed was like, I think it was like 2 seconds of a dialogue scene you have with Miranda. Or they show it for like 2 seconds on the screen and then they like move away from it. So
it's every time I see shit like this, like when SJW women like complain, they see it as it's like, ladies, you work out and you can get an ass like that.
I mean,
there.
A lot of the women complaining about this are probably just, let's be honest, fat chicks with like multicolored hair, probably.
They just grab it and go, why the fuck am I not like this? Why don't they look like me?
I'm telling you right now, a lot of this is probably jealousy. Like that's probably what a lot of this stems from. They're just like, why don't I look like that? So they just have to rage at every woman that actually looks good. So.
Or no, they could do it worse. They could make it like BioWare could make it look like Mass Effect Andromeda, where they look fucking doll-like, and they just have sex and just flat chested, flat everything. I mean, that's all they want. Everything.
This is a game that has sex scenes too. This is a game that has nudity, and we're getting bent out of shape over a scene where some chicks, like, we're seeing a chick's ass. Like
nudity.
I mean, this is a mature-rated game with sex, and we're upset over like 2 seconds of a chick's ass.
It's like, okay, if you see a woman's ass, it's like, damn. It's either you want it, you want to get that ass, or you just fap about it because you'll never get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. And now BioWare's like, well, we're gonna change that. We're gonna go back and we're gonna remove those scenes because we find these scenes to be they're not with the times, so to speak. So we need to go back and we need to remove these. And I have to wonder what else they're removing if they're removing that stuff.
Actually, no, they're not removing it. They're cutting back on it. They're gonna change a few camera angles.
Yeah. But it's still just going back and like changing unnecessary things about the game.
Yeah, it's like pointless.
And then of course they're also adding in J.J. Abrams' lens flare and changing the way certain scenes look because I don't know if I mentioned this on another podcast, but they changed the way, like when you go to the first planet, I think in the first game it's like a red planet, and in the original it looks red. But in the Legendary Edition, they changed it to not look red, and it looks it looks completely different. Like it's supposed to look like a normal planet, I guess. I don't know why they did that. It's like that was obviously an artistic choice to make it look that way, and you changed it for whatever fucking reason. I guess because you figured that looks better. But I'm just like, why can't you just keep it the same as it was? All you need to do is just change the resolution and make it look better or whatever you need to do. I mean, why do you have to change? Why do you need to go back and change stuff that doesn't need to be changed? That's what I'm wondering. I mean,
no clue. That's all I gotta say. Is just really no clue.
I mean, if you want to play Mass Effect in HD or Mass Effect in like with better visuals, I just at this point I feel like you just get the original games and then just use mods or something to make it look better, because I mean, this Legendary Edition, it's like, well, they're using a different engine and it does look better in that regard, but some of these changes they're making, I just don't know why they're doing this, why they're doing some of these other changes.
They're doing it because they have to make their money somehow. They have to appease the fat.
Well, yeah, because they have to appease Twitter. I think that's pretty much the reason.
Not only Twitter, but the fat bitches everywhere. So,
well, that too.
It's like treadmill. It's needed. Squats. That's how you get perfection. Oh, that.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we should probably move on to the main thing, which is the Nintendo Direct.
That came out yesterday.
Yeah.
That I had to slave myself at low volume on my phone with a notepad and a pen just to get everything written in every order, in particular order of what came out first to last.
Yeah.
And a lot of these predictions that they made, some of them came true, some of them didn't.
Well, so I guess we could go over what they actually did come true. What did they actually show in the Direct?
Or what they announced. Oh, perfect. Because I actually have 2 pages worth right here. First off, they announced Smash news, but how they did it was actually kind of clever.
New Smash. They showed new Smash characters.
Okay, yeah, because they showed it off like it was an actual game, like they were going to continue the game, and it's like, oh, it's not. It's actually a Smash video. They brought in Pyra Mithra from Xenoblade 2.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter that they like Pyra Mithra, but I wasn't sure what it was about. I guess it's Pyra in Smash now.
Like, a lot of people were excited. Like, when I saw them, I was like, tricky bastards, but I'll give them a shot. I have the season pass for it. I'll do it.
So are they out right now, or are they just like characters
next month?
Okay.
They didn't say when they were coming out, but they just said that later on. They're like, oh yeah, we'll have a video about them in March. And guess what happened after that? A lot of people said that either A, they had no idea who they were, B, thought it was from Fire Emblem, and C, this is misogynistic and sexist. Why the fuck they make them like this?
Yeah, I saw a picture where somebody was like, it was like some meme. It was like, oh, this is misogynistic, and it was Pyra and Mithra, and then the other picture was like shirtless Shulk and like some other character without his shirt on, and they were like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It was just like, it's bullshit. Oh, and apparently they censored them, by the way.
How do they censor them?
Like adding tights to their legs, but making sure that when they attack, there's jiggle physics.
Well, I mean, at least they kept that.
They kept that. Thing. Oh, and then everyone's like, who the fuck makes these characters like that? Nintendo. Nintendo was the one that made these fucking characters. So these people could shut up. Nintendo's no longer family friendly.
Yeah, I mean, they want to present themselves as such, but I mean, there are obviously games on the platform that are not meant for kids. So
yeah, I mean, like fuck you. Everyone thinks that it's gonna be Mario and all that other shit. I mean, sure, there's nothing wrong with Mario, but let the adults have their games. Let them have their tits and their JRPGs.
I mean, GameCube did it, so
yeah, they had Geist, and all the other games are rated M. Darkness Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, I actually played Geist as a kid.
Geist wasn't that bad.
It's a pretty obscure game, but it's pretty fun.
It could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been.
Let's see. After they announced that, they announced Fall Guys and Outer Wilds coming to Switch in the summer. So that's really nothing special. I mean, it's a port.
Yeah, one of the many Switch ports. So, I mean,
but
that's cool at least.
Yep. But then they announced Famicom Detective Club.
Famicom Detective Club?
Yep.
So, what is that?
Famicom Detective Club. I know for a fact, I believe it's somewhat of a visual novel. Let's find out. Okay.
That's what I was assuming.
A text-based adventure game that was made for the Famicom. It was Japan only.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Famicom was like Nintendo in Japan or something like that. Was it called like the Famicom?
It was the NES in Japan, but they announced 2 games from the Famicom Detective Club. It was The Missing Heir, The Girl Who Stands Behind. They're being remade for the Switch, and when people saw them, some people didn't know what to expect from it, and they were disappointed. They're like, we didn't want this. But it looks good.
Yeah.
It's a good visual novel.
I might have to look into that then.
We'll get a Switch, because it's coming out on the 14th of May.
I mean, I plan to, so... eventually get a Switch, but...
The game's like $35, but apparently if you buy one, you get a discount on the other. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see, and they announced Samurai Warriors 5, which is coming to all consoles in the summer.
I have not played a Dynasty Warriors game in forever, so I mean...
Samurai Warriors?
I mean, it's pretty much Dynasty Warriors. But
more or less.
Same thing with like Persona 5 Strikers. Like it's a Musou game similar to Dynasty Warriors.
But the sad thing is, I would actually play Persona 5 Strikers.
Yeah, I would still play Persona 5 Strikers, if not just because it's a continuation of the story, I guess.
I want to hear Ryuji say "fuck." I heard it. It was great. Even though he said it in the game in Persona 5 before, but not in actual voice. It gave me hope.
Is this where the Phantom Thieves hang out?
Shut the fuck up, idiot! Oh, what else did they announce? Legend of Mana was being remastered and released on June 24th.
Didn't we have Trials of Mana or something? Like, what wasn't it like Trials of Mana? We had that game as like a remaster or like a remake of.
That one was more of a remaster that came out, and it was in actual 3D.
Yeah. So now are they doing Legend? So is Legend of Mana like? Is it another like remake they're doing?
Let's see, 2020, this was Trials of Mana. Apparently that was an actual remake because we never got it in America.
Yeah.
But Legend of Mana. No, we got Legend of Mana.
Yeah,
we got it for PlayStation.
Yeah, so is this just like it's basically like what they did with Trials of Mana? It's like a remake of the old game?
Remaster. It's more of a remaster. No 3D.
So they're just like upresing it basically, or
pretty much.
Okay.
And what is it? Capcom announced showed off another trailer for Monster Hunter Rise, and also showed off a Switch controller and Switch bundle.
That's always fun.
Hold on, let's see. I do believe there's images of it somewhere. Oh, here it is. I don't mind what they do with this shit, but it's just why bother? Because the Switch console, all the Switch console is just, hey, Special designs on the controllers and the Switch dock. That's it.
Yeah.
And if you want the controller, it's the same thing. They just put a monster design on the controller. That's it.
So it's like a specialized controller, like a custom controller, basically.
Yeah. But, and also, funny enough, in the middle of it, they were like, "Oh yeah, we released this game, Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I hope everyone got it." I'm like, I did. Shut up. Because I have a Switch. I like nostalgia.
So, some more Mario games, a Switch controller, and Trials of Mana remaster.
Legend of Mana.
Legend of Mana.
Oh, well, you were getting on to something about Mario.
Oh, more Mario stuff.
Mario Golf Super Rush. Honestly, I'm
sorry. I just sleep whenever I see more fucking Mario stuff. I just like.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Mario Golf is actually not that bad. That has like a special place in my heart.
Like I'll probably pick up Mario Odyssey whenever I get a Switch, because that actually looks pretty good.
It is, but you're gonna lose your life to it, trying to find everything.
So like it has a bunch of collectibles.
Like a lot. Oh. And I gave up trying to find them all. It's like I beat the game, whatever. But Mario Golf, apparently they showed off Mario Golf and Cowboy Wario. That's all I gotta really say about that one. Because you saw the tweets.
I don't think so, actually.
Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can find you a tweet. Because while they were showing that game off, apparently people were surprised about Speed Golf and Story Mode.
Story mode.
And I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking, oh hey, cool. They're putting in the RPG elements from the Game Boy Advance game.
That's interesting.
Yep, but also, that GIF is life. It gives me great joy. And also Speed Golf, which is essentially, hey, you just play along with other people and try to make it faster before everyone else. I mean, cool stuff, but at the same time, it's just like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's... I'll probably never play it, to be honest, but that's...
Well, of course you won't. You don't like golf games.
I don't like sports games in general.
But yet you would play Tony Hawk.
Maybe. I mean, like, there's at least fun to be had with Tony Hawk. I mean, same with... I played Tony Hawk, and then I played this, like, BMX game that was on the PS1 when I was a kid. It was like... it was like Dave Mirra's BMX or whatever it was. It's like you just like ride around on a bike and do tricks. It was pretty fun.
I don't know what that one is.
Yes, right. It's basically like it's similar, I guess, to Tony Hawk, but instead you just ride around on a fucking bike.
I know what that one is.
Yeah, like you do tricks on the bike, and you can. I think you can wipe out too. That was always funny. It was kind of funny when you could wipe out in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did they show? Oh yeah, they showed off Tales from the Borderlands coming to Switch, and nobody cared. I was like, cool.
It's a Telltale game, so.
Yeah, but if
you've played one Telltale game, you've played pretty much every Telltale game.
And here's the sad thing: if you bought the game, if you already had the game already, they make you buy it again because they put it on the PS4 again.
The Tales from the Borderlands?
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean you have to buy it again?
You had to buy it again.
Oh, you mean you have to buy it on the other console?
Yeah, or on PS4, even though I already played the goddamn game and Platinum did.
Yeah. If I already played something else on another platform, I just don't really get the port for it unless there's something like significantly different about the port, or if it's just like a PC port of a console game.
Yeah, but it's like no, but and then I think another thing that nobody really cared about was Capcom Arcade Stadium. It was
that just kind of sounds like so. What is it? Is it just like a
the Midway Arcade Collection?
Yeah,
that they had?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's like that. It's like that, but it's free to download, but you have to pay at least, I think, $35-$40 to get everything.
Jesus.
So essentially, it's not special, and I understand that Capcom wants to like sell it out, and they bring in people like Proton John to do fucking streams about it. That's nothing interesting.
I'm guessing it's just a collection of just classic Capcom games.
More or less.
So yeah, because that's what the Midway collection was.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty typical. No, most companies have, will release stuff like that, and like Midway, Konami, Capcom.
Pretty stupid.
Actually, to break away from the Direct for a second, speaking of Konami, I heard rumors today that there was a new game from one of the Silent Hill people. They're working on it, some kind of action horror game. And I guess they started up a new studio that's working on this game. I think it's called like Studio Bokeh or something like that.
Yeah, Bokeh Game Studio.
Yeah, from what I've seen of the illustrations, it definitely looks like something that Junji Ito would do, so that's interesting. It definitely reminds me of Silent Hill in terms of just the monster design, but the only difference is this is not like a survival horror game. This is like a action horror. So I'm kind of wondering how the gameplay is going to be for that. But I am definitely intrigued by the monster design. Another game that's ever since you introduced it to me, I think it was on the last podcast that I've been keeping up with, is Project Ill. A lot of YouTubers have been like talking about the updates for Project Ill. Like apparently the guy working on it has been releasing like I guess like gameplay videos or different like videos showing off the monsters or something. The monsters for that look fucking incredible because it just reminds me of The Thing, and just the way they look is horrifying. Like I love it. I seriously want this to be like a game because it looks amazing. Just what this guy can do with like the way the monsters look and everything. It actually looks legit scary.
I'm pretty sure about that. And also, I did not know that the creator of Silent Hill made Gravity Rush too.
Yeah, I did not know that either, but I think they actually they said the gameplay for this game they're working on is going to be like a little bit similar or something. I don't know. Or they have a guy from Gravity Rush working on it, so I don't know. Maybe the gameplay will be similar to that.
Let's see. Teases a game that has strong similarities to his previous work, highlights horrific monsters and scenes that would be right at home for Silent Hill and Siren, with the hint of the stylish flair of Gravity Rush. But he also mentioned that he wants to be up to join the death game entertainment like Danganronpa. So, okay.
So, what does Danganronpa have to do with this?
He was actually interested in doing shit like that.
Oh. Huh.
Which, honestly, that's not bad.
Yeah. So a game like 999 or Danganronpa or something like that.
Yep. Oh, but don't worry. Apparently, Danganronpa, something like that, it'll pop up here on the direct list.
Oh, great.
Yep, very. Okay, so remember a game called Stubbs the Zombie? Or
yes.
Heard of it?
I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
The remaster was announced.
Oh. And
it's coming next month.
Was Stubbs the Zombie, was that an Xbox game, or am I thinking of something else?
It was. No, you're right. It was an Xbox game.
Because I think that wasn't that an exclusive to the original Xbox? Because
yes, it was.
That's weird. So that's coming to the Switch.
And PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay. Because I thought for a second it was going to be like an exclusive or something. So
they announced it for the Switch at the Switch Direct. or Nintendo Direct, whatever.
Well, that's cool. It'll probably come to PC though, so I'll probably just get it on there. Yeah.
I think it might come to PC. I thought it was already on PC.
I mean,
oh no, it was on PC, but they removed it.
Well, they'll probably put it back on if they with the remaster.
They might. Let's see. Development. I don't think they have anything about that. Oh, right, cannibalism. Never mind. I'm just going to leave the Wikipedia page on that.
So, okay, Stubbs the Zombie remaster, and what else?
Capcom Arcade Stadium, Mario Golf, Tales from the Borderlands, like, whatever.
Yeah.
No More Heroes 3 finally got a release date.
So when's that coming out?
August 27th.
That's good. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that game to come out.
Me. Because there's so
the
much...
most recent No More Heroes game we got was Travis Strikes Back.
Travis Strikes Again, yep.
Didn't a lot of people not really care for that game too? Like,
they didn't, because it didn't play like No More Heroes.
Yeah, I was looking at the like what it looked like, and it did not remind me of No More Heroes. It looked like some kind of it looked like a bunch of mini games.
It looked like a Devolver Digital game.
Yeah.
That's all it looked like, really. But it wasn't bad, though, but it could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we're sorry. Here's No More Heroes 1 and 2 for Switch. I was like, hey, sweet. And then what was another game that came out? Oh, Neon White was announced too. It's essentially a first-person deck-building game about fighting demons in heaven.
Interesting concept.
Yeah, it's exactly it. And they showed it off, and it looked really good, but it's gonna come out this winter. Or supposedly winter 2021.
And before it gets delayed.
I don't think it will get delayed if it's going to be coming out at that time.
Yeah, true. I mean, we're still in... Technically, we're in winter 2021 right now, so...
Yep. Oh, God. This game, I immediately threw my phone because I didn't give a shit.
What game?
DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. Yeah, a game based off the fucking show.
So, wait, the Supergirl show or the?
Yes, DC Superhero Girls.
So wait, what characters are these? Is this like Supergirl and like who else? Is it like I'm guessing it's like Supergirl, Batgirl, all those other characters.
Wonder Woman, Zatanna, Batgirl, Supergirl, Harley Quinn, Bumblebee, Green Lantern, the female version of Green Lantern.
I didn't even know there was a female version of Green Lantern.
I didn't know either. Let's see. Katana, Poison Ivy. I already said Harley Quinn.
So basically just all the female characters from DC in a video game.
Yep.
And
who's making this fucking game? That's the problem. Because they didn't.
Is it like an action game or is it like?
Oh god, no! It's a game being made and published by Nintendo. That's even worse.
Oh.
Nintendo, you could do better than that. I saw that shit. It's bad.
It sounds bad. Just from what you're describing.
And you know what they could have fucking done? And they didn't because us Americans wouldn't appreciate it? There was a Crayon Shin-Chan game announced in the Japanese Direct. It looks fucking good.
But we're not getting it. Probably because most Americans don't even know what Shin-Chan is. So...
I do.
I know what it is. I mean, if you watched Adult Swim, like, you know what Shin-Chan is.
it was fucking great, and it's like,
it was funny.
Why couldn't we fucking get this game and not that shitty DC game?
I don't know. We have fucked up priorities over here.
Yeah, we have to have DC Superhero Girl stat.
We need the female empowerment game. We need the women power.
And then they put Plants vs. Zombies Battle for the Neighborville Complete Edition onto the Switch. I don't care. I'm switched that. That's actually what they revealed after that, and I was like, great.
Yeah, I've heard about Plants vs. Zombies. It's just one of those games I'm probably not gonna. I just don't care. I'm not interested in playing, to be honest. It's like, that's the thing. I probably never gonna play.
Like, Garden Warfare was enjoyable, and that's what Battle for Neighborville is. But at the same time, it's like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean that game's already been like. Isn't that game on other platforms too? I mean, it's already been announced in other game conferences about like, oh, Plants vs. Zombies. It's on the PC. It's on the PS4. It's we have a new update. Yeah. It does. There's all these other things. I mean, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, Battle for Neighborville is on. It was already on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, so it's like a game that we've already heard about. So it's not anything particularly new.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, great. They also announced Plants vs. Zombies 3, but this was a long time ago and nobody cared. Anyways. You've heard of a game called Miitopia?
I don't think so.
It was a game for the 3DS, and it was an interesting concept. You can make one of your custom characters like the villain, and you just have like a rag team of random characters you create. Go on a journey.
It sounds like an interesting concept, but it's also not really anything I haven't heard of before. So it's like, I don't know. I might
because they announced it as a remaster or a remake.
Oh, so this is already out.
It was already out for the 3DS, but they're redoing it for not PS4. If it did that, shit. But they're remaking it for the Switch.
I kind of hope they port some of the other games that are on 3DS. If they eventually port those over to Switch, because there are some good 3DS exclusives that would be cool if they actually like put it on the Switch.
For me, it would be Fantasy Life, like hands down, Fantasy Life.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It was essentially you play as a character, you could choose their job, and you just play the game as that job, and you could switch at any time. Let's see. But that's kind of surprising they put Miitopia of all things, because that's a 3DS game and not a Wii U title being remade for the Switch.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I kind of hope they bring over some other 3DS games eventually.
Yeah, their biggest selling points of this game was there's a horse companion and there's different customizable options for your Mii characters. And it's like, okay,
great. Play with your Mii avatars. It'll probably be fun for kids, but anybody else, I just don't see how that would even be intriguing.
Some streamers would have fun with this.
Yeah, good point.
Funny enough, they also, speaking of moving on to kids, Animal Crossing New Horizons update. This time they're adding Mario items to Animal Crossing, and honestly, it's not bad.
When are they going to add Doom Guy, though?
I wish. I think you can just make that.
I mean, I think that Nintendo has already kind of like memed about that too, or at least acknowledged it. Like the whole like Doom Guy and what was it? Is it Isabella, like the dog or whatever? The Doom Guy.
Well, yeah, because the game came out was supposed to come out the same day.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently the only item that I thought was interesting that they showed was the warp pipe, because you can move from. It acts like a travel system. But how they did the update was weird. How it's like, hey, the update's coming on February 25th, but you're not going to get the items until March 1st.
Great.
Well, they want to do something with Mario's 35th anniversary, which that's already passed.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why I'd hold off on it then.
I don't know. Because they felt like it?
I guess so. Are you drinking fucking Rockstar energy drinks?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay, what?
Tastes like orange juice to me, man.
That shit is fucking horrible for you.
I'm a big guy. I can handle this shit. Fuck, don't. This is about the Nintendo Direct, not my fucking.
That's why you can't sleep, is because you're drinking fucking energy drinks all day.
I wish I brewed a cup of coffee right now.
It's actually worse than coffee.
It's just. It kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be like the sequel to Octopath.
What game was it?
It's called. They don't have a title for it. The working title for it is called Project Triangle Strategy. It reminds me visually of Octopath meets the gameplay of Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics.
That sounds interesting, at least.
And they released a demo of it, and I never got a chance to play it yet because I was busy.
Yeah, Fire Emblem is a game series I've kind of been meaning to get into. Yes, I mean, like gameplay wise, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it because I'm not a big fan of tactical RPGs, but I don't know. I might be able to get into it regardless. I mean, because I kind of did that with Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, and I love how when they showed this off, it's like a new game by Square Enix, and it's like, okay. Yeah, and they showed off the gameplay.
If it's like Final Fantasy Tactics, that's not too surprising since it's Square Enix.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that. But from what I've seen of it, it actually looks really good. And I need to play the demo of it too.
So far, it sounds like some interesting things were shown, but it doesn't sound like I'm missing too much. The only thing it kind of has my interest is No More Heroes 3. But
yeah, No More Heroes 3.
Too. And if I get a Switch, I'll have to get the No More Heroes 1 and 2 Switch port.
Like, the only thing that probably would sound interesting, and also Famicom Detective Club.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
Like, honestly, that sounds interesting too, just due to the fact that it's a visual novel. But yeah, also great. Star Wars Hunters was announced as well, but they didn't show shit.
What's Star Wars Hunters?
I don't fucking know. They announced it. I don't know. They fucking announced it. They showed it off, and it's like, here's Star Wars Hunters. Okay, that's it. Bye.
Well, I'm guessing it must be bounty hunters, and I don't know. But like I said, most shit coming from Star Wars I couldn't really care about at this point.
All right, let me read you the. This is on the Switch store. Star Wars Hunters will connect players in real time to battle in settings inspired by iconic Star Wars locales. Players will join squads of all new and authentic characters, including daring bounty hunters, heroes of the rebellion, and Imperial stormtroopers in an action game that immerses players in a fast-paced and visually stunning Star Wars galaxy. So essentially another multiplayer game.
Oh my god. Now I really don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. It's just like Battlefront all over again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wow, okay. So just Battlefront.
But it just looked bad.
I mean, I heard Squadrons was okay, but
dude, Squadrons, if you like flight simulators, and that's one thing.
I mean, or if you like Rogue Squadron, the original Rogue Squadron games. I
was hoping that it would play like that, but it doesn't.
Yeah, that's sad. Based on what I've seen, it plays a little bit differently than that.
Like a flight simulator.
Well, like a flight simulator would be more like you're just flying around. You're not really like in aerial combat or anything like that. It's.
But you're in the cockpit, though.
Yeah. in that
That's
regard,
what I was getting.
Yeah.
I mean, use the PlayStation VR, and that'll definitely be a flight simulator.
Yeah. I mean, at least that would give some replay value. It's like, hey, you want to play in a PSVR? You could pretend you're in a fucking Starfighter, a X-Wing or something.
Don't worry. I already have that. I just hadn't played it yet. Anyways, Knockout City was announced too. I like the trailer that they had for it, but it was just kind of weird.
What's Knockout City? Is that a brawler? I'm guessing it's a brawler, right?
That's what I was hoping
Like
for at first. Unfortunately, no. I'm going to tell you how they showed off the trailer. It looked like they had somebody from Fortnite
Ninja?
with an orc. No, like an actual soldier from Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
With an orc from World of Warcraft. And some sort of 2D sprite princess that looked like she came from a cool game, but it was just weird. They were just doing interviews, and they just grabbed the controllers and start playing a game, which is essentially an online multiplayer dodgeball game.
Okay. I sleep.
I mean, it looks interesting, but I need more on it.
Same.
Other than that, I sleep.
Pretty much. I think we can move on to whatever else was announced.
Oh yeah, speaking of Danganronpa and Zero Escape, World's End Club was announced from the creative minds of Danganronpa and Zero Escape.
Well, you already have my interest.
with some art style that kind of resembles Pokemon, but not really.
So, but it's Pokemon, but like really edgy, basically. Considering this is like Danganronpa.
Not really. Here's why I got to pull this up from the Nintendo shop. But this game is coming out this year on the 28th. But here's what it is. Renowned game writers, Kotaro Yauchi, I don't even know the fucking names. So, fuck. People behind Danganronpa and Zero Escape return with a brand new game that's easy to dive into, full of twists and turns. Charming and vivid story, friendship, and mystery will captivate new and experienced players alike. Blah, 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 moving on. The Go-Getters Club, a group of misfit students from all over Japan, find themselves trapped in a strange theme park during a class trip. In order to unravel the mystery of their circumstances and find an escape, they take part in a game of fate that will test their bonds of friendship.
Definitely sounds pretty reminiscent of Danganronpa. And I guess also Zero Escape to some extent.
Yep. But looks cheery and vibrant. And
well, that's probably supposed to contrast with the, how violent I suppose it's going to get.
I mean, it's rated teen and not M, like Danganronpa.
Okay, so it's not going to be as brutal as Danganronpa.
I wish it was. But it's not. I mean, I think he wanted to do something different. So I'll give him that. Let's see. Moving on. Supergiant announced a physical edition of Hades, which is nice, but I already own the game. Although I wouldn't mind owning it physically.
Yeah.
Alright, here's the one. Here's another one that people were actually surprised about. It was not Supergiant. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
So is that like all the Ninja Gaiden games, or?
It was Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool actually. So Sigma was the PS3 exclusive, and then Sigma 2 I think was also on 360, or was that on PS3?
No, Sigma 2 was on PS3. These were the PS3 versions.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it's coming out for Switch, Xbox One, Steam, and PS4.
Oh, we're getting a PC port. Yes. You know where I'm. What platform I'm getting that on?
PS3 probably, or PS4 probably. But here's the problem, though. Here's where a lot of people seem to get really butthurt or kind of iffy about it.
Yeah.
There's no online multiplayer for the ninja trials or tag missions and all that. That's what they said. That's what threw them off about it, making them not want to get it. But at the same time, I'm just like,
I didn't know that the multiplayer was something that people like
cared about.
Yeah, I mean, if in a Ninja Gaiden game, like, isn't it mostly just the single player aspect of the game that people like? I mean, it's just a difficult game. And I don't know. I mean, maybe the multiplayer was a big component in the original games. I wasn't aware of that though, but I thought it was like people mostly played it for the single player.
Yeah. And they also want a game that can kick their ass.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's some people that will play the multiplayer version of it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, their own.
It is weird that that's taken out, but not a big deal to me, at least. I mean, I can understand why some people might be frustrated with it, but maybe it's something they'll patch in later, hopefully. But
probably.
Yeah. I mean, at least we have the game, like a collection of these games now, and because before, I think, they were just like PS3 exclusives, so at least now we're actually getting them on multiple different platforms.
The only one that really wasn't PlayStation exclusive was 3 Razor's Edge, because...
that was a
that was a much-needed version of 3, because everyone hated the original 3.
Yeah. I heard that Razor's Edge did improve some things.
Yeah, Razor's Edge improved a lot.
Isn't 3 like that they kind of like reuse characters, like they talk about how terrible of a person he is or something like that, like he's because he kills people.
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah, like the main villain. He's like, you're a murderer. You kill people or whatever. And then when he killed people in that game, they were like, please don't kill me.
Yep,
they like
that's exactly what it is.
Chop them up.
Yep, and apparently when that game came out, everyone hated it. It was heavily mixed until Razor's Edge came out, and everyone liked it.
Yeah,
which was good. But yeah, moving on from that, it's coming out on the 10th of June.
I'll probably pick that up.
Oh, I know you're getting the PC version. Fucking
Levy. I have that 60 plus frames a second, or 100 plus frames actually.
Oh yeah, a lot of people complain about the Switch trailer being like the frame rate was all choppy. It's like, it's Switch. It's not gonna be like 60 frames per second. That's another thing that really irks me. Is like,
the Switch isn't a very powerful console, so I would not expect too much out of it in terms of like high frame rates. But yeah, I would at least expect the games to run at like a consistent 30 frames a second on the Switch.
Yeah, or at least a 30 frames that's actually consistent and not choppy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, hell, like most of the games I play on the Switch are handheld. I usually play it portable, and it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, even Mario 3D World wasn't bad when I played it in handheld.
Yeah, I guess it depends if, like, if you're playing it on, like, what is it, like undocked mode, it'll probably be pretty choppy.
And docked would be better.
Yeah.
Like Breath of the Wild, like how a lot of people said that the resolution sucked for undocked.
Yeah, resolution is going to be different, and your frame rate's going to be different too.
And I had no problem with it, either or.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what happens when you play. If you switch over to playing it on portable, you're gonna sacrifice resolution and frame rate, it seems.
Yep. Speaking of which, Age of Calamity got an expansion pass for $20, and it will be. They release it on the 28th, but they'll have more DLC releasing later.
That's good.
Which, I mean, yeah, that is good. I hadn't finished Age of Calamity yet, which I need to. But I'm glad that it has DLC finally. Sadly.
Yeah, when did that game come out again?
Last November.
Well, at least it finally got DLC then.
Let's see, November 20th last year. So, and it took them 3 months.
Yes, it did.
and then it came close to the end of the direct, so they showed off more of Bravely Default 2, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Also announced that Saga Frontier Remastered and Apex Legends were coming to Switch.
Yeah, I am actually kind of interested in Bravely Default 2. I still need to play the first, or Bravely Default and Bravely Second, though. But, yeah, I mean...
You don't really need to play them.
Oh, so is it kind of like a different
character, like Final
different
Fantasy?
Story? No.
Different characters, yes. Because, let's see, Bravely Default...
So did they show, like, any gameplay for Bravely Default 2, or did they just, like, announce
There's already a demo. No, at this point, nobody really cared about showing off new things because there was already 2 or 3 demos of the game.
When is the release date for that?
This month on the 26th.
Oh, okay. Well.
The demo features story not featured in the final game. Okay.
I need to catch up. I need to get a Switch so I can actually play some of these, like Bravely Default 2, like, because I actually kind of want to play that. But I do want to play like the first 2 as well, because those are on 3DS, and I actually have the first. Well, I know I have Bravely Default 1 somewhere. It's hidden somewhere.
Yeah, because Bravely Default and Bravely Second, those 2 collide on the same story, but
okay.
Bravely Default 2, no, it's new characters and story. Essentially, it's like Final Fantasy, different stories.
Yeah, it sounds
new characters. Different stories. Oh yeah, the direct didn't end after that. They had 2 more announcements.
Okay.
AG Onuma came out and said, "Hey, we're coming out, and this is the one Zelda game that people were expecting, and people thought it was Breath of the Wild 2."
And what was it?
It was Skyward Sword HD. Out of all the Zelda games,
everyone loves Skyward Sword, though. I mean, isn't it? It's everyone's favorite Zelda game.
Yeah, if you're damaged. Like, I don't like. Okay, this is one thing. When I saw they were putting Skyward Sword on there, I was immediately heartbroken. I was like, why? Why this game of all things? And then they're like, oh hey, it has motion controls. I was like, you didn't learn. And then they're like, oh hey, you can play on an actual controller. And I'm like, huh, you've learned.
Well, I mean, at least you have that option. You know, it's like if you don't like the motion controls, at least you can play on a controller. So
yeah, like, hold on, let me grab this controller, because they use the Pro controller like as an example, or the Switch Lite. Out of this controller, you want to know how to slash the blade?
How?
You think the buttons?
Yeah.
The right stick. The fucking right stick.
That's kind of awkward. That's kind of an awkward control scheme.
I mean, good for them. Good for fucking them for doing something different. And also good for them to showing off a good, what is it? A good Joy-Con controller? Because here's what they have.
They should have do a Joy-Con controller?
Yeah. Like, here's what they look like. This is what they look like right there.
I'll have to look at it later. I can't actually look at it during the podcast, but...
Well, essentially, it's a blue and purple controller, and there's supposed to be like the sword and shield logos on there.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, though.
They look cool. It's like cool-looking controllers from a bad Zelda game.
So that's pretty much how they ended it. It's like, hey, Skyward Sword HD.
No.
Oh, there's more.
One last announcement.
Good or bad?
doesn't really matter to me because I don't really care about this series, but to everyone else, good for them. They showed off, it looked like a Mad Max scenario where it's like completely deserted areas.
So
France is completely fucked.
Oh, of course it would be.
And then they showed off a squid kid.
Oh, Splatoon. Okay, Splatoon.
And I was like, Splatoon. And then they showed off Splatoon 3 coming next year.
I mean, people like the game. I'm not surprised. I mean,
it's not a bad. Here's my thing. It's not a bad game. It's a good IP from Nintendo. I'm glad that it has more games. But where's Mario Kart 9?
Yeah.
It's been in the span of Mario Kart 8 and 7, like the actual version of 8. Splatoon had 3 games. Mario Kart has no new entry. And 8 Deluxe does not count.
Yeah, I guess they just kind of forgot about it.
I think so. But it wasn't a bad direct.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully eventually we do get some news about, some of Metroid Prime 4 or Bayonetta 3. That would be good.
They won't until they feel like the time is right.
Yeah. I mean, we did get some good announcements, it sounds like. I mean, the things that stand out to me are like the Ninja Gaiden collection, No More Heroes 3,
Project Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, Bravely Default 2 is actually something I'm kind of interested in. Not too much else. Like, I mean, it's I can't think of too much else.
Maybe Famicom Detective Club.
Yeah, that too. And then of course that the game that the Danganronpa guy is working on. But I'm assuming that's probably not going to be an exclusive. That'll probably be like a multiplat title.
Oh, let's find out if it's only for the. I'm going to see if it's only for it. Let's see. Actually, is that? Oh, that came out a while ago. Really? Huh.
Oh, what?
It came out World's End Club. Apparently, it already came out for Apple Arcade last year.
Oh, so wait, is this a mobile game?
Apple Arcade? Yeah, but is Apple Arcade considered? What is that? Hold on.
I mean, So I'm wondering because it's like, is this a mobile game that's being ported to the Switch, or because like Apple? When I think Apple Arcade, I think like mobile games for iPad,
TV, iPod, iPhone. That's what it says. It looks like it, but from what I've seen of the Switch port, it doesn't look like it.
Well, maybe they're changing some things up for the Switch version.
That's what I'm guessing.
I mean, I would expect them to make it at least look better than a fucking, like a typical mobile game.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I'm interested in that one too.
Yeah, like, out of all the things that they announced and they showed off, I wouldn't call this a disappointment.
No, it's just that they didn't announce some of the really, really big things that they've teased before, like Metroid Prime 4 and
Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2, yeah.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3, F-Zero, Golden Sun, like all these games that people wanted to come out.
Yeah.
But it just the only thing I will give like negatives is that they put out games that were already out years and years ago that nobody cares about.
Yeah,
like Tales from the Borderlands.
Just more Switch ports of games that have already been out, basically.
Yeah, like Tales of the Borderlands was definitely one of them. Fall Guys and Outer Wilds were on other consoles, but I'm glad that the Switch is getting it.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess that was the Nintendo Direct.
How would you grade this direct?
Based on what you told me, I would probably give it a 7.
7. I would probably give it an 8 because of all the other things that were shown.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think it comes down to personal preference too. Like, I'm just basing it on the amount of games I would actually play that they announced.
Yeah, I think I had the what I showed off on the whole thing. Let's see. Fuck. I wish I could find the goddamn things. Fuck. All right, I put cons of this fucking Nintendo Direct. Skyward Sword. That's the only con I had of that fucking thing. It's bad.
I kind of wish they would like port some of the, because obviously they did like the remasters of like Majora's Mask and like Ocarina of Time and like the 3DS. I kind of wish they would like maybe like port some of those to the Switch or something. Like that would be cool. I would fucking play those.
Funnily enough, people were predicting that they were going to have like an anthology collection for Zelda's 35 years.
I would get hyped for that over fucking Skyward Sword Switch port, basically.
Like put on the Switch. I don't know how they would do this, but they would probably do it this way. Have like one, like you could do like 2 or 3, like, or hell, just put it together for $100. Like one half would be Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, the N64 anthology.
And then do like the SNES games or something, or like the other.
No, I wouldn't say the SNES games. I would say like not Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess,
Zelda CDI.
People joked about that shit. They joked about that being Smash. But no, I would like for them to put like Breath of the Wild like separate, not Breath of the Wild 2 and all that. But Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD on one thing. Kind of like how they did with like Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. I mean, we have Wind Waker HD on... I think it's just on the Wii U, isn't it? I mean, like...
Yeah.
We don't have that on the Switch yet, do we?
Yes, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were on the Wii U, but never on Switch yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a no-brainer. Just port that over. I mean, because it's on the Wii U, and that's probably like literally the only reason people are even still playing their Wii U's. It's just like, oh, hey, there's Zelda. This is Zelda games on there. That's not on the Switch.
But as for like Skyward Sword, you could leave that its own fucking thing. Who cares?
Yeah, I think there's obviously just more demand for the other games, the other Zelda games, than fucking Skyward Sword.
Those have been in high demand since the Switch was first announced. They were wanting a 3D Majora's Mask 3D to come to consoles.
Yeah,
but when it should, 3D
it should. Like all these classic Zelda games, I feel like it's just put them on the Switch.
But will they?
I feel like they're planning to do it eventually. Like it's probably just like you said, it'll probably do it for like the anniversary.
Yeah,
probably. I mean that would make sense. But
well, then again, let's see. Hold on. Let's see, when is their anniversary date? February 21st. Really? That's when Zelda first came out?
Oh, shit. Well, maybe...
They're going to piss off a lot of people because it's coming up soon.
What do you think's going to happen? Do you think they're actually going to announce something?
They're probably not going to give a shit. They're going to be like, Mario 35th anniversary. It's not over yet.
Here's some more ports of Mario games.
It's as long as it's like the good Paper Mario games, I'm good. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Give me Paper Mario 1, 2, and 3, or Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario on the Switch, please. Like, I love Origami King, but I don't like the other two as much.
So... That was the Nintendo Direct.
We each gave a different score, 7 and 8.
So, with that being said, I think we're pretty much approaching the end. What is it that we like so far this week, I guess, to one of the recurring questions?
I'm cheating with this list. I'm cheating with this. 2 things I like so far for like the past few weeks. It's both Spotify and my Nintendo Switch.
Okay,
I'm cheating. I'm cheating with this.
Why Spotify, though?
Because like every time I would be at work, I would always listen to Spotify.
Right. Yeah, because you can listen to music at work.
I would always listen to podcasts, like the last podcast on the left is one of them. Who's Right was another one.
Podcast on the left.
You heard of this podcast before?
No, it's a reference to a movie.
The Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the joke, and it's like essentially it's a true crime podcast with comedy and horror. It's like great. If you ever heard of Henry Zabrowski, who was an actor who actually ran this podcast, it's great. And then I have fucking the Eightfold Road, which is essentially the metal arrangements of Octopath Traveler, which made me want to play Octopath again.
So it's basically great. Music then.
and my Switch, because I've been playing a lot of Switch games recently. Yeah. Mostly Octopath Traveler and Tetris 99. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to say what I like so far. I guess I could just say like one thing. I kind of like watched this on a whim, because I was like going through Amazon Prime and like I've seen a lot of movies on there, and it was a horror movie, and it was this movie called Bad Men. I just kind of stumbled upon it, and it was like I thought it was gonna, because it's kind of like set up like it's a no budget like Paranormal Activity like rip off sort of movie. So I watched it, and like it is creepy to some extent, like the way everything is set up, but it's also like there's also like a lot of this unintentional comedy in the movie. Like the dude's just like cursing out at the ghosts, and then like there's a scene where the ghost like literally beats him up, and I just had to laugh. It's just like the guy in the movie is just hilarious, and then like the like everything that happens in it is just like you can't always take it seriously. It was just unintentionally hilarious movie at some points. Like I'm not sure if he meant it to be like a comedy, but like that's how it came off. It's almost like a so bad it's good sort of movie to an extent. Just the way like certain things happen in the movie. And I did not even know this, but after I finished watching the movie, I shit you not, this movie has 7 sequels. There are 7 sequels to this fucking movie. And
which movie?
So the first movie's called Bad Men, and then there's like I think there's like 7 different movies like this dude, and it's written and it's directed and it stars this dude. It's just this one dude in this house, and then like the other movies, like it's all him. And like there's different actors in the other movies, but in the first movie it's just this dude, and then the other movies it's like these other actors. But yeah, there's like multiple movies, and I was like, what the fuck? There's like, this is like a whole thing, and I was just like this. I kind of have to watch it now, because some of these I've seen like reviews of it, and it looks fucking hilarious. Like just some of the shit that happens in these movies. Like in one of the movies, he's like an Uber driver or something, and like he's driving all the people to his house. And like all this crazy shit happens. Like one of the passengers he has is like a vampire, one's a zombie, and I'm just like, it's the most random shit. And he thought it would be scary. And then in one of the movies, like there's a killer doll in his house, and it's just it's oh my god, it's so fucking hilarious. I need to watch the rest of these. I just watched the first one, and like I'm pretty sure the first one is the movie that takes itself the most seriously out of all of these other movies, because it seems like the more, like, with each movie it gets more and more ridiculous with how fucking, like, crazy the premise is. But yeah, it's I recommend it if you're in for like a so bad it's good kind of like a movie you can basically just like watch and like get drunk and watch and just laugh about it. Like that's I recommend that. I recommend that movie.
So like The Room, essentially.
A little bit, yeah. Like if it was like Paranormal Activity mixed with The Room or something.
That just makes me want to watch a movie of Tommy Wiseau doing a found footage.
Yeah, because like you just see it from the perspective of the security cameras this guy has set up in his house, and then you see him like on his phone, like recording from his phone, and then he's like recording, and like the way this guy interacts with the ghosts is just hilarious. Like okay, so usually in most horror movies, like if you're in a haunted house situation, like most of the characters in a haunted house, if they see like weird shit, they'd be like, oh man, they'd be like freaking out. But like this dude, he's just like, fuck you, this is my house, and you're not gonna kick me out of my fucking house. It's hilarious. This dude has like balls of steel. So like there was one scene where there's a bunch of like there's this ash like scattered on the floor, and then like the ghost like writes something in the ash. It's like, and it writes like, not your home, and then the dude, he's like, well, I'll tell you what, it is my home, and he just like wipes away the fucking words, and he's like, you know, you're not gonna kick me out of my house. It's it was just so fucking funny, and then he'll just like curse out the ghosts in some scenes. I'm just like, am I supposed to take this seriously? Like, this is so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, it's just a movie I watched on a whim, and I thought it was like the most hilarious thing ever.
Also, I tried to look up Bad Ben, and apparently it gave me the fucking Ben 10 wiki.
No, just look up like Bad Ben on the Internet Movie Database or something like that. You'll find it.
Then I found it. Apparently, there's Bad Ben, Steelmanville Road, Batter Ben, the final chapter.
Did you see one of the pictures has like the dude's face on it? It's in front of the house, like he like photoshopped his face like screaming in front of the house. Like I think it was like Bad Ben the final chapter or Bad Ben the way in or whatever the fuck. There's so many different ones, but I think it's one of those. It's just like it's just like him screaming. No, it's one where it's just like his face like superimposed like over the house, and he's like screaming or something. It's fucking hilarious.
I have to let's see. Well, I found it. Bad Ben the way in. That's what it is. Bad Ben the way in.
Yup.
And then there's one, Bad Ben 7, the haunted highway. It's just
that's the one where he's an Uber driver.
Yeah, he's in his fucking Dodge Charger or whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, and there's a clown in some of them too. There's some dude in a clown suit.
The Crescent Moon Clown, which is the Bad Ben story.
Oh,
man, I have no idea what the fuck this is. It's like a Batter Ben, the final chapter. Just some guy looking down a flight of stairs.
It's a whole fucking anthology of movies, dude. and they're made like really close to, like the first one was like in 2016, then it was like the next one was like same year, and then it was like 2017. They're like all like really close together. Like he just like pumps these out like a factory.
He like plays himself. The only movie that he didn't play in was Steelman Road.
Yeah, because that was like a prequel or something to the first movie, so it's like he's not in it until like I guess the end of the movie or something.
Yep. Steelmanville Road. They thought they had inherited the dream home. What they got was a nightmare. A found footage film. And apparently it's like a couple photoshopped onto like what looks like 2 or 3 houses. It's fused together.
The dude has master level skills of Photoshop skills.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
These are all on Amazon Prime. Like, if you have a Prime account, you can watch all of these.
Well, I was gonna watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but fuck that. I'm just gonna watch Bad Ben instead.
Watch fucking Bad Ben.
Oh God. Oh my fucking God. 4 stars. 4 stars for Bad Ben, Batter Ben, The Mandela Effect. 4.5 stars for Bad Ben Pandemic. Help is a video.
Oh yeah, that's right. He made one during the coronavirus pandemic, and that was what it's called. Bad
Ben Pandemic.
He's wearing a fucking mask in the movie, and then at the end he gets like shot by the police or something.
The Crescent Moon Clown, the Bad Ben saga continues. Hey, alright. Hey, look, wait, what the fuck? Tom Riley, paranormal investigator. What the fuck is this? What the fuck?
Is it related to the Bad Ben series?
It is in a sense, yes, but it's animated.
Oh god. I need to see that then.
Tom Riley, an open letter to Nigel Bach. Dear Nigel, me and my friend have been following the Bad Ben series since its first release. We have found this collection on our own, watching a movie every couple of months. We enjoyed Bad Ben so much that we purchased a physical complete edition to send it to YouTube channel Red Letter Media. After sending this, I sincerely hope that this abomination is not in the collection. The eldritch horror has affected the deepest recesses of our mind, where the nightmares and repressed memories of our life now past resides.
Red Letter Media needs to do videos on this series.
Okay, I have to ask, is this in competition with Neil Breen?
I feel like, I mean, it's like kind of the same sort of filmmaking, considering he just like writes, directs, and like stars in all these movies. So it's kind of like Neil Breen in a way.
I'm looking him up right now.
Oh, the what was his name? Nigel, whatever.
Nigel Bach.
Nigel Bach, yeah.
Wait, what? Okay. Double Down, I Am Here Now, Pass Through, Twisted Pair, and apparently Neil Breen made a fucking fuck. This picture is so bad. It's Neil Breen's 5-film retrospective.
The best of Neil Breen.
Architect turned filmmaker Neil Breen, a god in his own right, humbly shares his professional movie knowledge along with how he's able to write, shoot, edit, produce, direct, act, and self-fund 5 theatrical independent feature films. Theatrical?
I don't think these were played in theaters. Like, these were released on DVD, like straight to DVD.
No, dude, you don't understand. It was in a theater, all right. But it was in like one of those independent
back alley theater.
Yes, exactly. I have to. This is just terrible. Oh god! Now I gotta look up. I'm looking up all these bad writers and all that. The Room, Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau has been in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies, or he's made a lot of movies at least.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of The Room, I discovered something. I had discovered something, and I didn't intend to discover it. Greg Sestero is in The Haunting of Bly Manor.
He is?
He is.
Is he a ghost?
No, he plays a character. He plays a recurring character called Fiance James.
Oh god. Well, I mean, at least his career has kind of gone somewhere.
Yeah, more or less. Wait, what the fuck?
What?
Oh no! Oh god! Tommy Wiseau is making another movie.
Wasn't there some movie he was making called Big Shark, and it was like some shark?
Yes.
Yeah.
An upcoming horror drama film directed and produced by Tommy Wiseau. It's written by and stars Greg Sestero, Isaiah Laborde, and Tommy Wiseau.
That's going to be incredible. I just it's gonna be like Sharknado. They're just gonna have like a CG shark in the under the fucking ground or something.
Yep. Because there's another film that he was into. Another film? It was called Best Friends. But it was like the R with the apostrophe. It had Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero.
And then Tommy Wiseau had that show was like The Neighbors or something like that.
Yep, he was in that.
Anyways, I think
the Disaster Artist too. He was in that movie.
Oh, Tommy, yeah.
Not Tommy was Greg Sestero. He played the casting agent, so he played a cameo.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that actually.
I'm gonna see if the Disaster Artist is on Netflix. Oh, not Netflix.
It's on Prime.
Damn it. Yeah, it's on Prime. I'm gonna look up my Netflix account because I have to see if that movie's still on Netflix. Because if it is, I'm watching that later.
I doubt it. I saw it on Prime. I've seen that movie twice. I've seen that movie twice.
Oh, nope. The Disaster Artist is on Netflix. Oh,
okay. Well, there you go.
Along with Uncut Gems. I'm just leaving Netflix before this rabbit hole goes down. No, thank you.
Anyways, I think we should probably wrap it up.
I think we already talked about what we're excited for like the thing.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Well, that all being said, as usual, I will now put up the links for myself, and I will put up Levy's links. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It was, like I said, I didn't watch the direct, but pretty much just hearing about it secondhand. But nonetheless, sounds like some interesting things were announced, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And most of the podcasts in the future will probably be like this. I kind of like this format, so I'm going to try to stick with it unless I find something better. But yeah, that all being said, we will see you all next time.
Don't freeze, Texas. Don't freeze.
Too late.
I'm already frozen.